Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hypersonic missiles were once described as unstoppable weapons, flying faster than Mach 5, maneuvering unpredictably, and shrinking reaction times to mere seconds. For years, many defense experts believed that no existing air defense system could reliably detect, track, and intercept them. These weapons threatened to overturn decades of strategic balance and render traditional missile defense obsolete. Yet Israel, a country already surrounded by constant security challenges, refused to accept that hypersonic missiles were unbeatable. Instead of reacting with fear, Israel treated the problem as a puzzle that could be solved with the right mix of technology, intelligence, and doctrine. Israel's journey toward countering hypersonic threats did not begin with hypersonic missiles themselves. It began decades earlier with a mindset shaped by necessity. From the earliest days of the state, Israel understood that survival depended on technological superiority rather than numerical strength. This philosophy drove the development of layered air defense systems like Iron Dome, David's Sling, and Arrow. Each layer was designed to counter a different class of threat, from short-range rockets to long-range ballistic missiles. Hypersonic missiles, however, sat outside these categories, forcing Israel to rethink everything it knew about missile defense. The biggest challenge of hypersonic missiles is not just their speed, but their behavior. Unlike traditional ballistic missiles that follow predictable arcs, hypersonic glide vehicles can maneuver laterally and change altitude during flight. This makes early warning systems less effective and complicates interception calculations. Israel realized early that defeating hypersonic weapons would require seeing them sooner, tracking them more accurately, and responding faster than ever before. This realization pushed Israeli defense planners to invest heavily in sensors, data fusion, and artificial intelligence. One of the first breakthroughs came in detection. Hypersonic missiles generate intense heat due to air friction, but they fly lower than ballistic missiles, making them harder to detect with conventional early warning radars. Israel addressed this by upgrading its radar systems to operate across multiple frequency bands. Instead of relying on a single radar type, Israeli systems combine ground-based radars, airborne sensors, and space-based infrared detection. This multi-layered sensor network allows Israel to spot hypersonic threats earlier in their flight, even when they attempt to fly under traditional radar horizons. Data alone is useless without speed, and this is where Israel's expertise in software and real-time processing became critical. Hypersonic missiles move so fast that human decision-making is too slow. Israeli defense systems increasingly rely on automated threat assessment, where algorithms analyze sensor data in milliseconds. These systems predict possible flight paths, evaluate threat priority, and recommend interception solutions almost instantly. Human operators remain in the loop, but the heavy lifting is done by machines designed to operate at hypersonic timescales. Another key element in Israel's approach is trajectory prediction. Even though hypersonic missiles can maneuver, they are still constrained by physics. Israeli scientists focused on understanding these constraints in extreme detail. By modeling how hypersonic vehicles behave under different conditions, Israeli systems can narrow down likely maneuver options. This reduces uncertainty and increases the probability of a successful intercept. Instead of trying to react to every possible move, the defense system anticipates the most likely ones. Israel also reimagined the interceptor itself. Traditional interceptors were designed to hit predictable targets at known altitudes and speeds. Hypersonic threats required interceptors that were faster, more agile, and smarter. This led to upgrades in the Arrow program and the development of new interceptor concepts capable of operating at higher speeds and with greater maneuverability. These interceptors are equipped with advanced seekers that can track hypersonic targets even during evasive maneuvers. Guidance technology became another area of focus. At hypersonic speeds, even small errors in guidance can result in a miss by kilometers. Israeli engineers invested heavily in high-precision guidance systems that combine radar, infrared, and inertial navigation. By fusing multiple guidance inputs, interceptors can maintain lock-on targets even when one sensor is degraded. This redundancy increases reliability in the chaotic environment of hypersonic interception. Electronic warfare also plays a role in Israel's strategy. While hypersonic missiles are difficult to jam due to their speed, they still rely on sensors and communication links. Israel explored ways to disrupt these systems, reducing the missile's ability to maneuver accurately. Even slight disruptions can force a hypersonic missile into less optimal flight paths, making interception easier. This approach does not rely on stopping the missile outright, but on degrading its performance. Another often overlooked factor is intelligence. Israel places enormous emphasis on understanding potential adversary capabilities long before they are deployed. Through intelligence gathering, open-source analysis, and technological assessment, Israel tracks hypersonic developments worldwide. This allows Israeli defense planners to tailor their systems to specific threats rather than generic scenarios. Knowing how a particular missile is designed, how it maneuvers, and what materials it uses provides valuable clues for detection and interception. Israel's layered defense philosophy remains central even in the hypersonic era. Instead of betting everything on a single interception attempt, Israeli systems aim to engage threats multiple times. A hypersonic missile may be detected in space, tracked in the upper atmosphere, and engaged again as it descends. Each layer increases the chances of success and reduces the risk of a single point of failure. This redundancy is expensive, but Israel considers it essential. Collaboration with allies also accelerated Israel's progress. Working closely with the United States, Israel gained access to advanced sensor technologies, shared test data, and participated in joint simulations. These collaborations allowed Israel to validate its concepts against realistic hypersonic scenarios. At the same time, Israel contributed its own innovations, particularly in software and system integration, creating a mutually beneficial exchange of expertise. Testing and simulation played a massive role in cracking the hypersonic problem. Real-world hypersonic tests are expensive and rare, so Israel invested heavily in digital twins and high-fidelity simulations. These virtual environments allow engineers to test thousands of scenarios, refine algorithms, and identify weaknesses without launching a single missile. When live tests do occur, they are used to validate models and fine-tune systems rather than start from scratch. Israel also recognized that defense against hypersonic missiles is not purely a technical challenge, but an operational one. Response times are so short that command structures had to be streamlined. Decision-making authority was pushed down to lower levels, and automated systems were given greater autonomy. This cultural shift was not easy, but it was necessary to operate effectively in a hypersonic environment. Another important aspect is resilience. Israel assumes that no defense is perfect. Instead of aiming for absolute protection, Israeli planners focus on minimizing damage and maintaining functionality even under attack. Critical infrastructure is hardened. Redundant systems are built in, and rapid repair capabilities are emphasized. This approach ensures that even if a hypersonic missile penetrates defenses, its strategic impact is limited. The psychological dimension should not be underestimated. By demonstrating credible defenses against hypersonic weapons, Israel sends a powerful deterrent message. Potential adversaries must consider that hypersonic missiles may not deliver the decisive advantage they expect. This uncertainty can influence strategic calculations and reduce the likelihood of escalation. Israel's experience also highlights the importance of adaptability. Hypersonic technology continues to evolve, and defenses must evolve with it. Israeli systems are designed with modularity in mind, allowing new sensors, algorithms, and interceptors to be integrated over time. This future-proofing ensures that today's solutions do not become obsolete tomorrow. Critics sometimes argue that hypersonic defense is a losing game. That offense will always outrun defense. Israel's approach does not deny this risk, but it challenges the assumption that defense is futile. By combining early detection, rapid processing, predictive modeling, and layered interception, Israel has shown that hypersonic threats can be managed, even if they cannot be eliminated entirely. The lessons from Israel's efforts extend beyond hypersonic missiles. They demonstrate how small, technologically advanced states can confront emerging threats through innovation and integration. Rather than chasing every new weapon with a single counter, Israel builds flexible systems that can adapt to multiple challenges. This mindset may prove just as important as any specific technology. As hypersonic weapons proliferate, more countries will face the same dilemma Israel confronted. The Israeli example suggests that the solution lies not in one breakthrough, but in many incremental advances working together. Sensors, software, intelligence, interceptors, and doctrine all play interconnected roles. Remove one element, and the system weakens. In the end, Israel did not crack the code to defeat hypersonic missiles by inventing a magic shield. It did so by refusing to accept conventional wisdom, by leveraging its strengths in technology and integration, and by continuously adapting to a changing threat landscape. Hypersonic missiles may still be among the most challenging weapons ever created, but Israel's experience proves that even the fastest threats are not beyond the reach of determined defense. And as technology continues to advance, the race between offense and defense will only intensify. Israel's story shows that in this race, agility of thought can be just as important as speed of flight.